This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
What's going on? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
And this is the Viewers Anonymous podcast. Welcome. What's going on with you, brother?
Can't call it, man. Just out here excited. I mean, look, I said this on the last, what we do last? Goddamn.
We did Iverson.
Iverson, yeah. I was saying this on the Coming Soon to Iverson episode, dude. I am so amped for this episode, man. This movie, I'm telling you, this movie, man, is so underrated, man. And like I told you on that one podcast, I said, dude, I almost did this shit without you, bud, because it's like, because I've been holding it in so long, man. It's really, really, man, a really good movie. So I'm just really excited for this episode. But you know what I'm saying? At the you know what I'm saying, at my Pop's old lady house, man, we just, you know what I'm saying, whip together some stuff. So, you know, just trying to have a good Saturday, man. But how about yourself?
Man, I'm doing good, man. You know what I'm saying? Just got home from a baseball game. Tried to take a little nap because I didn't get too much sleep the night before. But you know what I'm saying? I'm pushing through, brother. I am pushing through. I can't even lie to you, man. We had a good day though. It was nice outside. You know what I'm saying? Sun wasn't too hot. You know what I'm saying? Son was out there. My son, not the actual son. My son was but my son, he went out there, man. He had a good game today. He liked playing catcher. So you know what I'm saying? I think that's something in his future.
Hold up. He liked playing catcher?
Hey man, I don't understand it myself, but yes, he likes to play catcher.
Hold on. Okay,
he thinks that the catcher is a cool position.
So let me ask you this: how fast are these kids throwing?
It's like it varies, right? Because with the league that he's in, you got kids who actually play on traveling teams, and then you got kids who've been in the league before, and then you also got kids who've never played baseball before. So you can tell the difference between each one pitching. I can guarantee you that. So the kids who play on traveling teams, they probably throwing around maybe 50, 60 in his age bracket. Like they throwing around like 50, 60. The slowest that they probably throwing is like maybe 40, 45. And then for the kids who've been in the league before, like, you know what I'm saying, the previous year or whatever, and they've been in, you know, coming up from T-ball and coaches pitch and all that, their fastest is probably between 45, 50 and 40. You know what I'm saying? Like in that 40, 50 range. And then the kids, of course, who ain't really never played, you know, they really ain't throwing too much heat. But it's interesting to see, you know what I'm saying, like kids playing, because baseball is one of those sports that you don't have to be super athletic, but you can't be like nothing.
You can't be uncoordinated.
Yeah, and you can't be lazy, because if you're lazy, you definitely gonna lose. So, it's interesting to see how they progress over the year. Like it's a lot of kids that I remember when the season first started. There's a lot of kids that couldn't throw. There's a lot of kids that didn't know how to throw off a pro hop. It's a bunch of kids who couldn't catch ground balls. It's a bunch of kids who couldn't catch with the glove. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a bunch of stuff. So, and then like I said, as the season goes on, you start to see who's going to be able to be like a future talent, and then you also see who's not. So like it was funny because my son, he was running after a ball, and you know, usually when most kids run after the ball, they don't use the glove to pick it up, they use their hand to pick it up. So he's running, he was running, and he takes his glove and he puts it on the ground to pick the ball up. He puts it on the ground to pick the ball up, which is a smart idea because the glove, you know what I'm saying, you got that extension, right? So as he's running, he leans over, picks the ball up. He don't put it in his hand. He toss it up. He catch it and throw it. And I've never seen him do no shit like that before. It was amazing, man. Like both of my sons, they both play, but my youngest son, he's really, really improving. He could always bat, so that wasn't an issue. But like as far as fielding goes, he wasn't necessarily like the best fielder. So that's really improved. My oldest son, he's actually the total opposite. He's a great fielder, but he's improving on his batting. So it's interesting to see how they both, you know what I'm saying, got their own little game.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
that's great.
man.
Because I'm telling you, listen, man, we went to the wild the other day.
Right.
You know, so we're shooting around in the gym. Let me tell you, listen, I love both of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them, love them. My oldest boy, I'm telling you, no athletic ability. Hey, he shoot the ball like Kevin McHale, boy. He shoot both hands, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, his balls are hitting the backboard so hard.
That just means he got to shoot from the logo, man. That's all that means.
Hey, but I was trying my best, man. I was like, man, you know, I love you, but you ain't got it, man. You ain't got it.
Hey, man, he might be a football player, man.
Oh, hell no. He ain't playing no football. Listen,
that's good.
He don't care nothing, man. My oldest man, and look, I ain't afraid. Because, like, my thing is, like, you know what I'm saying? Live your truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, my oldest son is autistic, man.
Right.
And, like, honestly, he can give a rat ass about sports. He don't care nothing about it. But this is the thing.
Is that the one that's in the video games?
No, my youngest is the one that's in the bit. But This is the thing though. This is the thing. He is into Madden now.
Oh,
my autistic son. And I will go into the room. Now, granted, maybe it might be on rookie mode. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He be blowing computer out. I be like, damn, but like for real.
But see, like, you know what? Does he play chess?
He don't play chess. No. Like but I tell you one thing, he has mastered doodle jump, my guy.
Okay.
Like he's mastered that shit. Like
now listen, I'm gonna tell you this. That's a skill. Because I played that shit before, nigga. That shit is not easy. When you hit like level 13, bro, that shit get difficult. So that's a fucking skill. That's a real life skill.
Yeah, like it's interesting to watch him because it's like I don't know like where he's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Because like he's like really into like looking at stocks and shit. Like he would just look up stocks and just keep looking at that shit. Nice. So he's always had a thing with numbers ever since he was a baby. Like he always wants shirts with numbers on them. Like so he's always into numbers. So I don't know, man. It's just really, you know, it's trying to map out like what he's gonna do and like all this type shit. And it's a challenge. It's a challenge, but you know, that's the thing with kids, man. Like you know, both of my boys, they total opposites. One, he look like
mine is too. Ain't nothing wrong with it though, man.
Nah, nothing wrong with it because he loves to be outside. He's a people person. He get that from his mom. He can go up and make a friend like that. Yeah. But he loves to play basketball. Like he's the one that's in the WWE and shit.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Okay.
So yeah, it's you know, it's great being a parent, man. Like
it really is, man. Cause see, like my youngest son, he has ADHD. So with him, he has to have something that's like a constant. It has to be like constant motion, constant movement, and he'll be still for a minute. Like I noticed, like when I get him in the video games, once I got him in the video games, he would sit down for hours, and there wouldn't be no issues. So that was a way to, you know what I'm saying, get him to deal with that because he had got diagnosed in 2017. And so at first, you know what I'm saying, like I was real hesitant because they were trying to put him on Ritalin, and I was real hesitant about that, and I was fighting it. And then, you know what I'm saying, like I just was like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna try, you know what I'm saying, getting him on the video game, see what he do. And he got on the video game, bro, and I'm talking about I ain't see that little dude for like, I don't know, maybe about 3 hours. I forgot he was in the house one time. He once he get in that video game, man, like, and especially one that he like, man, he'd be on that all day, man.
Yeah, man. And that's how it is, man. That's why I say, man, like, can't nobody, like, these doctors and stuff, like, they can't really tell you, like, about your kid, man. Like, you with them, you know, most of the hours throughout the day, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know, not everybody, but most of us got to work, you know, and plus, I mean, they got to go to school, so it's like, other than that, like, you with your child, so you know your child, so.
Exactly.
You know, that's one of those things, but.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's to, you know what I'm saying? It's the second episode of the week. What's up, man? What you watching, brother?
Oh, all right. I didn't know you were gonna hit me with it today. There's something I actually been meaning to mention. It's on the third. Let me see. Is it the third? It's the third or the fourth season. I think it's the third season.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong, but I believe we're on the third season of The Chi.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been watching.
Shout out to Lena Waithe.
Lena Waithe, yeah. That's the thing. Lena Waithe, man, like, listen, yo, like, I like Lena Waithe. Don't get me wrong. And like I say, I'm one of those people. I don't have a problem with it, but I do feel like I do have an opinion and the obligation to speak on things.
Right.
Sometimes I feel like Lena Waithe is pushing this stuff a little too much sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fine. And I know that they have been misrepresented for a while. But she's really kind of throwing the gay thing on you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Where it's kind of forced a little bit. You know, like there was one lady, I think during the second season. Well, she got married in the second season. So it was the first season. One of the main characters' mom starts dating this girl. So she got these two kids that are teenagers, and then all of a sudden now she's, you know, she's a lesbian.
Yeah.
And then at the middle of, that's what makes me think it's the fourth season. Because then she brought in a transgender male going into a female. And so now you got that. As a matter of fact, there was a story that came out last season where there was a dude. Oh man, I can't remember his name. He was a drug dealer, and like his role was supposed to continue going.
Yeah, but he didn't want to. He didn't want the love interest to be transgender. Exactly. Yeah, I remember that happened.
So,
I remember that.
So they killed them all.
They ended up letting him go.
All of a sudden, he got his brother that's locked up. And then the brother get out of jail, and he's the one that's in a relationship with a transgender. I know it sounds like I'm killing the show. It's good. Like it's not the same show from when they let go of Jason Mitchell.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I found myself getting invested in the story of, because like now they really focusing in on the teenagers, and that's kind of great because these teenagers that are getting like starring roles as teenagers. Right. You know what I'm saying? That can help them when they start getting into these movies and shit. Because look at your boy from Stranger Things, Caleb McLaughlin, I believe, the dude, the black kid from Stranger Things.
Yeah,
he's coming up. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I seen him in
I haven't watched that. You talking about that Cocaine Cowboy or Concrete Cowboys?
Yeah,
I didn't watch it though. Did you watch it?
Nah.
I didn't watch it.
I just seen the cover for it.
Yeah. So it's good to see them getting their shine as teenagers and actually being in like starting roles, because, you know what I'm saying, that can help them, you know, become, you know, better adults. But anyway, yeah, I'm watching The Chi, man. It started out. I mean, look, no, I know it sounds like I'm criticizing the show, and I'm not. It's really good. Like the writing has been good. Some of the stuff is a little cheesy. Damn, man, it sounds like I'm killing it. There is some cheesy shit in it, man. It's like, come on, man, like really, like this really happened. But you know what I'm saying? But I've been invested for like 3 or 4 years, so
Right.
I'm just kind of like I've been riding this train, and I want to see the ending. Like I want to see what ended up happening with everybody. So I'm just basically riding the wave, man. So The
Okay.
Chi on Showtime, I'm still invested.
Nice. Man, listen, so you know what I'm saying? I've been diving into this Apple TV world, man. You know, that's one of those platforms that we don't really mention, think. So you know, with Hulu and Netflix and Disney Plus and what am I missing? Amazon Prime, you know what I'm saying? Like all of these other movie platforms that have, you know what I'm saying, like all this great stuff, we never mentioned Apple TV.
Yep.
And they really have some great original content. So, you know what I'm saying? I told you guys about C. I think I told y'all about C.
You did.
Okay, with Jason Momoa. That's what I was watching last time. I finished that up. So I move on. I'm seeing something. I see my guy Jason Sudeikis in the show called Ted Lasso.
Is that soccer thing?
Yes.
Okay.
And it is brilliant. This is probably one of the best shows I've watched this year. I mean, like I got hooked as soon as I started watching it, bro. But just a real quick plot summary. It's about a coach named Ted Lasso. He's like a real high rank, well, not high ranking, but he's like a winning football coach in America. He coaches like college or whatever. And the owner of the soccer club basically hires him to come in as the new club manager. And basically it's a whole sabotage plot, but it's not in the way that you think it is, but it's crazy, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? He comes in, he's changing everything around. He, you know what I'm saying? He does what he does. It's like the character is funny because I guess he's supposed to be from like Kansas City or something like that. And he got that like Southern twang accent. So like on top of that, and then you know how funny Jason Sudeikis is, like he already a funny dude. So like this one part where they was like, man, he got some really nice cleats. And he got this guy, that's his assistant coach. He call him Beard. So he was like, yeah, I mean, he was like, man, those are some really nice cleats. He was like, well, they call boots. He was like, they call boots. He was like, yeah. He said, over here, they don't call cleats. They call cleats boots. So he was like, so I thought you said the trunk of a car was a boot. He was like, yep, that's a boot too. He was like, so, He said, so what do you call, what did he say? He said, what do you call putting your cleats in the trunk? He said, what do you call putting your cleats in the trunk and doing something? And he was like, oh, that's putting your boots in the boots during the bootleg or some shit like that. The shit was just funny, bro. Like, it's a good show, man. Like you get to see how dynamic some of the characters are. You get to see some of the characters changing. It's only one season, I believe. They got another season coming soon. So if you got Apple TV, you make sure to check out Ted Lasso. I know I'm late to the party, but it's worth it, man.
That's fucking funny. That's funny. Yeah, man. I like doing this, man. But like the only thing is, it's like it's things have, like, to me, it feel like things have been kind of slowing down a little bit. So hopefully I'll be able to find something for next Friday.
Oh, they gonna ramp up. They ramping up real soon. Before we start, bro. So listen, I changed toothpaste.
Oh shit.
And I got the Crest. I think it's Crest. It's either Crest or Colgate, one of them. But whatever it is, it's the Optic whitening toothpaste.
I think that's Colgate.
Okay, so I didn't know that when you brush your teeth with it, like after you spit everything out, that shit still is like foaming up in your mouth. So I guess that it's supposed to be like cleaning your teeth as you like get after you get done brushing it. So first time, you know, so I'm brushing my teeth with the shit. I'm going through, you know what I'm saying? I'm going through all the motions and everything. I'm spitting this shit out, and this shit is foaming up in my mouth. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this shit, bro? So I keep spitting. So then I rinsed my toothbrush off, you know what I'm saying? Finish, hit my tongue again, hit the roof of my mouth and shit. And I spit again, and this shit is still foaming up. So, bro, I get some water. I'm rinsing my mouth out, bro. Still foaming up, bro. So I don't know about this new toothpaste, man. I don't think I like this new toothpaste, bro.
That's that auto clean.
Yeah, I don't like that shit at all, bro. It's that shit is weird. It's a weird feeling, man. It feels like somebody shooting foam in your mouth the whole time you brushing your teeth and shit.
That's funny, but that just reminds me of growing up, man. My mama used to like close up. I hated that shit. Hated close up. Who brushed their teeth with cinnamon, man? Like,
yeah, I never understood that either. But my wife got this shit from a company called Hello, and it's charcoal toothpaste. You ever try that?
No,
man.
Listen.
That shit have your mouth looking like you eating tar.
Man, listen, Chris, if y'all hear me out there, my favorite Crest is with the featuring Scope. Listen, I love that toothpaste. If y'all want to sponsor Viewers Anonymous, listen, y'all can send tons of boxes.
I'm with that.
Scope, I'm telling you,
I'm with
best
that.
Toothpaste in the world. I love that toothpaste.
That's a fact.
Man, listen.
I can't argue with you on that one.
I love it. I love that shit, man. And it sucks because, you know what I'm saying, I ran out like a month and a half ago. And you know what I'm saying, my old lady, it's some Crest, but it's baking soda and peroxide. Like, what the fuck is this?
She got the plain Jane of the toothpaste.
Man. Like, come on, man.
These just regular old crackers. These just regular old crackers.
Yeah, man. Where my Scope at, man?
Yeah,
like,
he looking for the rich.
Yeah, man, that's my shit. So I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? You gotta throw the alley-oop out there. I'm just saying, if some people from Crest is listening, you know what I'm saying? We would love to sponsor you because we could go on and on and on.
Real
Crest Scope, okay?
It's funny how little shit like that could change, you know what I'm saying, your whole day, bro. Like the fact that you got nasty toothpaste could just ruin your whole morning.
Yes, man, because that's how you start your morning, man. You brush your teeth.
Yeah,
exactly, man. I'm telling you. Boy, we went on a toothpaste rant there. Listen, people, it's that time now. I'm pretty sure y'all seen the title, so y'all know what this is, man. This movie is so underrated, man. You never seen LL Cool J like this, man. So we're doing the movie, man, the 1999 Fuck What You Say classic, man. In Too Deep, you know what I'm saying? Got the boy LL Cool J, Omar Epps, Nia Long, Stanley. Is it Tukey?
I think it's Tukey.
Yeah, Tukey, Pam Grier. You know what I'm saying? Harper Hill. You know what I'm saying? Special appearance by Maya. Special appearance by Jermaine Dupri, even though he got his ass whooped. Sticky Fingers.
Shout out to my man Ron Canada, man.
Yeah, man. It's sneaky great cast. Sneaky great cast. But to give you a rundown, Omar Epps, you know what I'm saying, is playing two characters, Jay Reed and Jake. Not Jake,
Jeff.
Jeff. So he's playing Jeff and he's playing Jay Reed. He's an undercover cop. And the whole intention is to try to take out these drug dealers, and they put him up against this guy named Dwayne Hatkins, which is AKA God. They go to take him down, and it's what the movie's called, man. He gets in too deep. He kind of forget who he is and kind of start feeling for these people that he's trying to take down. And I love the way that the movie goes because what's so great about it is they're jumping back between timelines. And what they're doing is they're showing Jeff teaching a class about going undercover. And it's so great to show that because he got in so deep. He's able to take what he experienced in real life and try to teach these new cops, which, I mean, that's the one, not silver lining, but that's the one thing that kind of sucks about this movie is because it's like We don't want him teaching all the new cops these great tactics
Right.
that he picked up. Because, but yeah, that's a whole nother podcast right there.
Bro, I can't picture Omar Epps as no cop, bro.
It was weird, man. Like, but he fit in so great as being Jay Reed, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm trying to figure out where even to start, but basically, you know what I'm saying, he graduated from the force. That's when Maya made her special appearance, and he went up to Preston, which was, I mean, I don't know exactly what he was. I don't know if he was a chief or whatever, but he was a high-ranking officer.
Mm-hmm.
And so after the graduation, he goes up to him. It's like, yo, like, I'm trying to go undercover. He was like, you know, what is this? You're like the fourth person to come up to me, you know, trying to go undercover. And he was like, look, he was like, I'm from the neighborhood, though. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, I can fit in with these people. So
Right.
he told him to come to his office, and he's like, we'll see what you can do. They put him out on the street. He get a bot. Nas, I forgot. Nas was in this movie too.
Really?
Nas, he was only in it for like a minute, 30 seconds. He wasn't in it long.
Okay.
But that's who he bought the drugs off of. When they first sent him out for his first mission, he went to get a buy off Nas. So, you know what I'm saying? So he was able to get a drug buy off of his first try. So then they put him undercover, and he was they brought down somebody at a lower scale, because what happened was he brought down like these. I can't look. I'm sorry, y'all people. I can't remember if they were Dominican or Puerto Rican, but it was somewhere Latina. My bad. So they sent him in on this Latina mission. You know what I'm saying? To set up these Latina people, and he ended up. The one problem that he had was he started caring for. It'd be like one or two people that he'll start caring for, and they had a sister that he was kind of feeling, right. And he would have these meetings where he would meet up with Preston. And he was like, Preston, why we got to do this every week? He was just like, when you go undercover like this, it's better to talk about this stuff face to face instead of doing it over the phone.
Right.
So he asked Preston this question of like, what's going to happen to the girl? And he's like, why does it matter? And he was just like, well, she's going to school. Excuse me, she's going to school. They're helping her pay for school. Not all this type shit. He was like, she's not involved in it. They're like, well, we'll see. We'll see if she's not involved as much as she says she's not. So anyway, so all this other shit happens. I'm not going to get all into the details, but so they was able to make this drug bust. But the girl see him walking out the house, and she see that he was a cop the whole time. Now, while this is happening, right, they mentioned that there's a dude in New Jersey called God. They was like, man, they call this dude God. He was like, can you believe that? So that's when, because he had a what do you call those things? A wire. He had a wire on. So they heard everything that they said. So when they was able to make that buzz, that's when they said, yo, now we're going after God. And that's when the whole fucking movie made a twist, man. That's when the whole shit flipped on your ass, Bugs. I'm telling you, after when they got into God, totally another animal, man.
Yo, so I didn't know that Omar Epps was I'm saying Omar Epps. I'm sorry, that Jeff was a cop in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yep.
That's super dope. You know what I'm saying? I would shout out to Cincinnati, but never mind.
Man, we go high though, man.
They ain't from there. They from here. They just live there.
Okay.
Yeah. And they don't even live there. They live in Westchester.
Why you call them out like that, man? But yeah, he was in Cincinnati though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. So the guy character, man, he's this big time drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? He running things. This is a first for LL Cool J, because LL Cool J usually plays, you know what I'm saying, like positive roles, or he'll play something that's kind of out of the ordinary. You know what I'm saying? He'll play a cop. Maybe he'll play a chef. I know in one of the movies he played like a chef or something like that. So him playing the antagonist in a movie, what you know, like, what do you? How did you look at that?
That was great. It was great to see him in a different kind of role, because when you always play like the good guy, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
when you always, so that was great to be able to see him in that role, because we never seen LL Cool J like that before. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To see LL Cool J play a drug dealer that was ruthless. Like, this motherfucker was like straight up a different kind of dude, man. And the
Yeah.
thing about God was he was he was an asshole. Like, he
Mm-hmm.
tried to play like they showed him giving this event, right? He was giving this event where they was giving away like free food and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, Sticky Fingers came up to him and he was like, "Yo, no, it wasn't. It was another guy. He was like, "Yo, we don't have enough. Like, there's one people, they want this, they want that. We don't have enough. Not enough." Like, he's act like he's the one that's paying for the event. He was like, "Yo, everybody get a plate." You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And so it trying to make him seem like he's this great guy, but then at the same time, he fucking fucked somebody up for owing him a couple of dollars, like $5 or $6 short or some shit.
Right.
So now you can also look at it like, well, you in this type of business, you can't let anybody get over you, because it's all about respect. Like, if they don't
Mm-hmm.
respect you, they're everybody. If one person short you, everybody can be like, if they let that one person short them, I can short them.
Right.
So you have to have that type of mentality when you go into that type of business. And
Mm-hmm.
it was just, you know what? In Too Deep was LL Cool J's training day.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that was his training day, because we never seen Denzel like that at that point. Now, he ended up playing what's my man name? Frank Lucas, but it was later.
Well,
You know,
he was who was he, what's the one movie? Wasn't it Devil in the Blue Dress? Where he was the
yeah,
dirty cop?
but it wasn't to the extent of
Right.
training day.
Okay. I see what you're saying. That makes
Like,
sense.
yeah, so it was I think when you are an actor, I think it's always great to be able to play a role that's outside yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because it shows that you have range. And I think that this movie was able to show us a range out of LL Cool J / God. It was able to show us that, because this is the thing. LL Cool J been on the scene since what 15, 16? Like,
Um.
when did he start rapping? He was a
Oh,
teenager. I know that. I don't know how
he
young,
started
but he was a
rapping.
teenager.
He started rapping in the early '80s.
That's what I'm saying. He was a teenager when, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Mama said knock you out, and I can't live without my radio. Like, all that
Right.
shit when he was a teenager. So the thing about LL was, like, we don't really, like, we know he's from New York and shit, but we don't know how street he really was. So we don't
Mm-hmm.
know if if this came second nature to him or not, which he
Right.
could have. But the guy character was, he was an interesting character, because it gives you those moments where, like, there was a moment where he was like, "Yo, I ain't trying to sound soft, but You know what I'm saying? That he had a son. He was like, man, my shorty, he gonna grow up to be something. You know what I'm saying? So like it gives you those moments where he is trying to be human, but it's also a moment where, which I get into a little later in the podcast, where it shows you that ruthless side where you're like, yo, that shit didn't even have to go down like that. So
Right.
you get these different types of ranges with LL Cool J playing God in this movie.
Well, for me, I think it's interesting because with LL Cool J being like the hip hop sweetheart, if you could use that, you know what I'm saying, him being the guy who always was, you know what I'm saying, considered the ladies' man, you know what I'm saying, the sex symbol in hip hop, to, you know what I'm saying, everything he did in hip hop, and then for him to jump in movies and kind of do what he did. We never really seen him play. Well, I mean, and he played an asshole in Any Given Sunday. But like he, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, outside of that,
Yeah,
man,
but that was different though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like outside of that, you don't really see him being the antagonist in something. So I think this is the first role where he was actually the antagonist in the movie, where, you know what I'm saying, he was really like considered the bad guy. And for him to play that role with him being who he was, I just thought that was an interesting dynamic, because we really don't see we really don't see the stars, you know what I'm saying, that everybody cherishes or whatever, play, you know what I'm saying, bad guy roles. They usually try to make them like the hero in the movie or whatever. Like, to me, I feel like in 1999, I feel like they would have probably tried to make LL, you know what I'm saying, Jeff, and then make Omar Epps the God character. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? While I'm talking, I want you to look at something. If I'm not mistaken, I think Any Given Sunday came out in '99 too.
Let me check. But go ahead,
It's
I got
really
you.
close. It's really close. But
You
it's interesting you bring up that character.
are absolutely right, sir.
I knew it, boy. God damn it, man. We do this shit, man. Yeah, man. Motherfuckers need to start fucking with us. But yeah, man. Like for him to do these in the same year, it makes it even more crazier. But I'm glad you had brought up that character. But also, like with there was a story being told. So Jeff runs into what was her name? What was Neil on name?
Myra.
In this, you said Myra. Yeah, trash name. So he runs into Myra, and okay, so two things. So one thing was funny, like they met because he went undercover. You know what I'm saying, to go take down guys. So he went to New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Harper Hill is the guy that introduced him in the guy, right? So during this process,
that nigga had blonde hair, bro.
Blonde hair, my guy. So when he took him in, he had my one dude. I cannot remember my guy's name. He had my one guy holding the punching bag, right? He was like, so God is like, hold the bag. So he's hitting the bag. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know LL Cool J's buff at this point. Like, he just played the fucking running back. He's buff. So he hitting the bag going all over the place. He was like, yo, if you don't hold the bag, I'm gonna break your jaw. Hold the bag. So he's hitting the bag. He hit like 3 times.
Right.
And the bag all over the place. He done hit him in the jaw. All right. So he done hit the floor. And so he bring up Jay Reed. He's like, yo, this is my man Jay Reed. He doing shit big over in Cincinnati and all this shit. So he was like, yo, you know anything about boxing? So he was like, I know a little bit. So he have him, you know what I'm saying, do the glove thing. You know what I'm saying? And he fucking working that shit. So he's working it. And so afterwards, he's like, yo, you know a little bit more about boxing than you let on. So anyway, they sent Jay Reed. Now, they showed you this at the beginning of the movie, right? And that's what's so great about this movie. They showed the scene where he was in the car with Harper Hill and Frisco and all this type of shit, right? And and they saying that they want him to shoot somebody. And then they go back to the classroom. He was like, what do you do in this type of situation? And he's trying to teach these students on what to do in this situation. But the cops proclaim, I got quotes up, people, proclaim that they go through these protocols of where they don't want them to murder, air quotes again, innocent people if they don't pose a threat. So they asked, so God pretty much sitting him on a mission with these other guys in Frisco to shoot this dude that owes him money. And they want to see if he's down to make sure he's not a cop. So, like I said, this is like in the middle of the film. So they show you what actually happened. And so what he did was, dude, I got to mention this. I'm sorry. This is so funny. So he starts shooting. And he's shooting and like he unloaded a whole clip, didn't hit shit. Yeah. So I got to mention this. I'm sorry. I don't mean to do this to y'all. But I hate to do this to y'all, Philadelphia. Somebody put up a meme of Jay Reed shooting out that Jeep, and they said, "This is Ben Simmons shooting the ball." I was like, "Oh my god,
that's funny."
That shit was hilarious, boy.
That's funny.
It was so fucking funny. You gotta see In Too Deep to get it. If you never see In Too Deep, you won't get the joke. But like, he didn't hit shit, and like, so what the cops proclaim they teach: if you're not in an immediate threat, then you can't shoot an innocent person. So he gets out the car. He's like, yo, give me that thing. Give me that thing. They was like, nah, man. They're like, man, you can't shoot. They were like, man, I'm sorry, man, you can't shoot. So they go back to God, and they was like, yo, did you do that thing? He was like, yo, my man can't shoot. He was like, man, he was like, man, he tried to get the Uzi, man. I wouldn't give it to him. Like, man, he can't shoot. They're like, how you know he wasn't playing you? He was like, nah. No, he's real deal. He just can't shoot though. So right. So that's what God did to try to test him, to get him to do shit. Okay, so right. He sends him on another mission. He was like, send him with the young dudes that we just hired to do this one job for us.
Right.
So they send him with these other dudes, and it's Sticky Fingers and this other guy. They try to rob him. So he found out they were trying to put the drop on him. He figures it out, shoot one dude in the dick, shoot the other dude in the chest. And so he goes back to Harper Hill's apartment and was like, yo, y'all set me up like y'all trying to kill me. So they send him out. They was like, yo, look, shit is crazy right now. We're going to put you out for a little bit. So that's when he meets Myra. And she is like a dancer / new model or whatever, right? So I got a little joke to go along with that too. So anyway, he put as in hobbies that he likes to take pictures. Like he's a photographer. Right. So he goes to the school, and that's where he meets Myra. So he ended up talking to her about doing some pictures for a portfolio, and he's like, he asked her to do it or whatnot. So they end up forming a little relationship. So this one, right? So, and this is my question. It's a question to you too. Okay. So they're walking, and she's like, he was like, why are you looking at me like that or whatever? She was like, I'm just trying to figure out, should I take you home to my parents? She was like, I don't know how much they would like you being a cop. And he was like, well, I don't know if I could take you home to my mom's. You know what I'm saying? With you being a dancer, part-time new model. Right. So this is my question to you. Would it be harder for you to take home a girl that was a cop, or would it be harder for you to take home a girl that's a dancer, part-time new model?
Definitely a dancer, part-time new model. My mom is not having that.
That's what I'm
saying. Telling you right now, she is not having that. I'm gonna hear about that shit all day long.
Yeah, because the thing is, some people don't fuck with cops like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but then at the same time, it's like, is mom really gonna be fucking with you? Fucking with a girl that's gonna be taking her clothes off for a little bit of money too.
Exactly.
So
I mean,
that's also a question for you. So
I mean, like, so I'm trying to think. Like, my mom is a pretty chill person, but I just I just don't see her being like super cool with, you know what I'm saying, me dating a stripper / new model.
well, she wasn't a stripper
Right.
technically because all she did was get naked for photographers to take pictures of.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not technically a stripper. Now she's not dancing for tips. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's like she did ballet. But I'm guessing ballet just didn't pay that well.
Mm-hmm.
So she was doing, for the campus, letting people take pictures of her naked or whatever. I'm guessing they were paying her a flat fee type of thing.
Right.
But that's but that's a whole nother thing. I just wanted to throw that question to you because I was thinking about that shit and I was like, yo, I got a question for this dude.
I don't think my
So
mom would care about me bringing
this
the cop home
motherfucker,
though.
like the thing is, like the type of cop that he was, because
Oh yeah, because he's undercover.
he ended up running into, he ended up running into this one guy that was head of like the case or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so he asked him like how it was going, and it was like, yo, we haven't been able to get anybody under, enough to get close enough to God. And he was like, and then when somebody does, they pull out because they get scared. So he goes over Preston's head. It was like, yo, send me back in.
Yeah.
So Jeff and Myra is sitting there in front of the fireplace, and she's like, she just feel it. She feels it. She was like, you going back in, aren't you? And he was like, yeah. And she was like, what made you want to do this? So he had this great story where he lived in the projects. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
and there was this wall. He was like, that was the only way in and out of that project. You had to walk past this wall. So he's like, guys started putting graffiti on it, and
Right.
it was the names of everybody that was being murdered. And he said the youngest person that was murdered was a 3-year-old. And he said that every day he walked past that wall, he was like, yo, I want to do something. And the only thing that he could think of is to become an undercover cop because
Mm-hmm.
he felt that drug dealers were the ones that was responsible for these innocent people being shot and killed in the neighborhood.
Right.
So I can see how that could motivate you to do something like that
Mm-hmm.
because he wanted to better his neighborhood. And the only way that he felt that he could do that was to do what he was doing. So I think that stories like that, I think that people who really, I think that's how some people become like politicians in a way or cops, lawyers, little shit like that.
Yeah.
Like when you're born in poverty, you know what I'm saying, in these bad neighborhoods and you growing up in the hood and you seeing all this bad shit that's happening in the hood and you want to do something to prevent it or do something to help,
Mm-hmm.
then I can see how he decided to make that decision to go that route.
Yeah.
So he was gone for like 2 or 3 months or whatever, right? Goes back in. And so God now, how I forget this. So he meets Denise, right? And
Mm-hmm.
this is what God was doing. He thought he was helping the neighborhood, my guy. So listen to me. This motherfucker, so Denise comes up to him. He knew Denise from around the way.
Right.
Denise having problems paying her bills. So he's like, yo, this is what I do. I make your house a stash house. So I have a couple of dudes coming into your apartment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Using your apartment, you know what I'm saying, whether for drugs or, you know what I'm saying, a spot to cook it up, chop it up, whatever. And he was like, I'll break you off a little piece. But at the time, she said, yo, I'm off that shit. I don't do it no more. And he
Right.
was like, we'll use your spot. I'll pay your bills, basically. Right?
Mhm.
So at the time, she was looking good. Jay formed up a little thing with her. You know what I'm saying? And so when he came back 3 months later, God now had his baby. And that's why I said that moment where he was like, yo, I believe Little Shorty's gonna grow up to be something, nah. So he was like, yo, that little thing that happened to you, you know what I'm saying? My dude that got his dick shot off, he was like, yo, I handled that. You know what I'm saying? My gift to you, nah, all this type shit. So Denise was at that because it was a ceremony where he made Frisco the what you call it, the godfather of his
Mhm.
baby. So he's like, so Denise came to that strung out, right? So she's strung out as fuck. And so he tells Jay Reed, yo, I handled that. Nah, all this type shit. So they go to a club, right? Hey, Jermaine Dupri, fucking 4'7" ass, walks up on him in the club. He was like, yo, Jay, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, let's go up on the roof and smoke something, right? So they go up on the roof, and Jermaine Dupri shot him up. And his name, this was so funny. So his name is Melvin, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, so they see Jay walking with Melvin. And so some of guys like, yo, ain't that Jay Reed right there? He's like, yeah. What he doing with slimy ass Melvin, right? and so then, right? And there's this Latino girl
Yeah.
sitting with them. And she's like, yo, who is that? And they're like, man, get the fuck out of here. So they go out there, see Jermaine Dupri try to pull a robbery, hit him upside the head with a bottle. And this is the crazy part. So they whooped Melvin's ass, and he ended up just giving him the chain that he tried to rob from him anyway. All right. So they just give him the chain. He's like, I don't even give a fuck about that chain.
Right.
So then, right? So then, now, while this is going on, he's still going back and forth. He's meeting Preston. He's
Yeah.
still meeting Preston. Now, this is the thing, though, that you got to understand, people, is the fact that when he went on the cover with the Latino people, right? The last time they sent him in, they put a wire on him. The wire didn't work, right? Like it was static, so they really couldn't hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the meetings that he met with Preston, Pam Grier, and this other officer was there.
Right.
And they're like, this is why the movie's called In Too Deep. It's because his mindset at that time,
Mm-hmm.
he was still Jay Reed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they're talking to him, and he's reverting back to them as Jay Reed. He was like, yo, y'all don't even know how to set up a fucking wire. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like talking bad shit to them.
Mm-hmm.
And like Preston's like, yo, we need to pull you out. He was like, nah, fuck that shit. So like he is caught in a conflict of where he started feeling for these people.
Yeah.
But he's also trying to bring down these people. Okay, so then, right, I know I'm doing a lot of talking. I'm just excited. So then, right, when they so after the club scene, the dude that was sitting with the Latino girl saying, yo, I know that dude. He's a cop. So there's a meeting, and they're like, yo, so God is like, yo, are you a cop? He's like, nah, I ain't no fucking cop. He's like, man, the fuck you talking about? He's like, man, bring that bitch down here. I show how much of a cop I am, all this type shit. And so God started to feel for Jay. He was like, I don't think this dude no cop. Like he asked dude, how long you known this girl? He was like, 2 weeks. He's like, man, you gonna take a week? He said, man, you gonna take the word from a bitch you know for 2 weeks? Like, man, what the fuck you talking about? So he was like, all right, man, let's go downstairs. So I want to show you something. So we go down to the basement. You know
Oh
man.
man.
You know what I'm saying? My guy's favorite part.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Scooter Brunson's favorite part.
Nah, definitely not
Frisco
my favorite part.
laid out on the motherfucking pool table, butt ass naked. Now this is the thing people gotta understand. This is why Frisco was laid out, butt ass naked on the pool table. So what the word is Frisco was drunk and made a move at his baby mom's, and that's what got him on the pool table. And what God is like, you know what I'm saying? He get the first pool stick, you know what I'm saying? Boom, crack it on his back. He was like, man, I was drunk, man. I ain't need it, man. I'm sorry. Nah. And he was like, so then this is the crazy part, like, you don't know what's about to happen. And
You
from what
definitely
the
don't know what's
word
about
is,
to
from what
happen.
Omar Epps said, when they was shooting that scene, that wasn't in the script. I can't remember if he was on Breakfast Club or if he was on a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He said that LL Cool J motherfucking freelanced that shit. Now I don't know how true this is. I'm just the messenger. And Omar Epps said it was not in the script for him to put that damn pool stick up Frisco's ass. And like, cause the thing is, when he was talking to him, and he spit in his hands. He was like, "Oh yeah," so he's jacking out the pool stick. And he was like, "Oh yeah," and then he fucking shoved that shit in his ass, and everybody was like, "Oh shit!" Like, are you fucking kidding me? So then he goes back, and he meets with Preston again, and Preston was like, "Yo, we just got to make sure you wasn't a part of this." It was like, "Nah, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't a part of it." And this is when he was still like Jay Reed. Like, so what I was just mentioning, that was the scene that he was going back and forth with Pam Grier and the other copy shit.
Yeah.
And like, he was just like, nah. And he was like, y'all can't even set up a wire straight, all this type of shit. And so, like, dude, like, man, okay, I'm gonna shut up. I'm sorry. A lot's going on here.
So let's not talk about that scene no more. That shit, boy. Man, listen. The concept of being in too deep, right? So this is the concept that of course it's the title of the movie, but the concept of being in too deep is when an undercover cop is basically has basically submerged himself into the undercover world where they really truly believe that this is now, you know, so they take on this personality as if this person is who they truly are now. And it's interesting that happens because, you know what I'm saying, in TV and film, we also have that with method acting. You know what I'm saying? Like, people become a character and they will, you know what I'm saying, play this role, and you know what I'm saying, like, they can't even get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they eventually have to go through different things to get out of it. So like is, you know what I'm saying, like with Jeff, you know what I'm saying, like you said, he was getting interrogated by people he was working with, but he was fucking being Jay Reed at the time. So it's like, when you look at it, it starts to, you know what I'm saying, you start to see this, you start to see like this weird transformation happen. So like, why do you think that that's such a, I don't know if it's common, but like, why do you think that happens? Because it's like, do you think it's more so the fact that they end up doing this, or like, for instance, like with undercover cops, they'll live that lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? They'll be around these people, they go through all this type shit, you know what I'm saying? And then we see it in the movies too, where undercover cops will be playing both sides of the fence. You know what I'm saying? And they let certain shit go on. They won't let certain shit go on, but they do it for, you know what I'm saying, basically just trying to catch the big fish. But at the end of the day, like, they really start to believe that they are the person that they portraying. So like, why do you think that type of shit happens?
I think for Jay Reed, I think it's because Jay Reed was actually from the hood.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to fall into it when you're actually from the hood because you've been around these type people. You know how to fit in with these people. Mm-hmm. And then Jay Reed had a heart for these people. That's just like, there was a scene where he was sitting down and having lunch with two of the guys that work for God, right? Mm-hmm. And they're eating, and dude, they're like stuffing this food in their mouth. He was like, yo, like, how is he how is he paying y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, is he paying y'all well? He was
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what I'm saying? We eating, but we ain't really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so then he started to feel for him. He's like, he got these dudes out here busting their ass, putting their life on the line,
Mm-hmm.
and they ain't even getting well compensated.
Right.
So he broke them off, both of them, like with like $300-$400. And they
Right.
was like, yo, what we got to do for this? He's like, man, y'all ain't got nothing for this. And he was like, all right, well, how about y'all go get me that waitress phone number? You know what I'm saying? He
Mm-hmm.
was like, just that for this? So he started to feel for those guys. He's like, damn, these dudes barely can eat, and they busting their ass working for this dude 24/7, and they're not making no bread. So I think that what he saw was these dudes was doing whatever they had to do to survive.
Yeah.
And I think that they got to a point. He got to a point where he started to feel for these dudes because he's like, y'all are just doing what y'all can. Like, I seen the same shit back in Cincinnati. I seen
Mm-hmm.
these same dudes that was working for the big man, but they're not troublemakers. They're not bad dudes. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They might have a record or something. They can't get a job.
Mm-hmm.
This dude is paying. So, I think that he started to have compassion for these people.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So I could see how it was easy for him to fall into that trap because not only him being from the hood, but him just having compassion for these people. I think that's now. I think that's with everything. You're not gonna send a white cop from the suburbs, you know what I'm saying, to the hood, try to bring
Mm-hmm.
down somebody. You're only gonna send those type of cops that are relatable to the people they're trying to bring down. So
Right.
that's how I can see, even if it's a situation where there are, these Italian dudes, like you're gonna send in an Italian dude that grew up in the hood that turned into a cop because he could fit in with those people, but he might relate to those people a little bit more than he relate to the people that he worked for. So I
Right.
can see how that concept of somebody going in too deep.
That's interesting, man. Very interesting. Yeah, that's all I had, bro. I just wanted
Oh,
to see what your
oh,
perspective was on, what I'm saying, going undercover and being in too deep because what I'm saying, like it paralleled with the, what I'm saying, the method acting part where, what I'm saying, we've heard of stories of characters going, I guess, in too deep as far as acting, what I'm saying, and we had some tragic stories, and then we've also heard some stories of some sort of redemption too. So I just thought that was a
yeah,
good parallel to throw out there.
cool, cool. Well, I'm about to wrap it up. So basically, there was a scene where God and Jay Reed was riding around, and they see, I think they called her Nisi, Denise. They see her and this dude, and they owed him money. So
Mm-hmm.
he rolls up on them, beats the shit out of Nisi, and Jay Reed beat up the dude, her boyfriend at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's this scene where he is putting a gun to Nisi's mouth and was like, yo, who am I? And he's like, she's like, God. And so like basically he beat the shit out of them and they sitting in the park. He was like, Jay Reed, you a dude where, you know what I'm saying, you a smart dude. He was like, what I like about you is, you know what I'm saying, you a boss, you ain't afraid of me. He was like, at some point, we're gonna have to take each other out. And he was like, so that's why I wanted to bring you on to make you, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, we can run this town together type of
Mm-hmm.
shit. And so he brought him with him on a drop. So they brought him in on a drop, and so they meeting these two white dudes or whatever. He was like, "Yo, who's it?" He was like, "Who's this dude?" He was like, "Where's Frisco?" And Jerry Reed is like, "Man, Frisco's the old news." He's like, "Oh, he's
Mm-hmm.
old news, so you new news." He was like, "Yeah." So he was like, "Are you a cop?" I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? And so God is like, "Yo, let's speed this shit up." And he was
Mm-hmm.
like, "I'm just trying to figure out my man, the cop." He was like, "Yo, let's do business." That shit was so funny. He was like, "Let's do business, right?" And so he gives him the money, he gives him the drugs, and so God is checking the drugs. He's like, "Oh, so you gonna check my drugs?" He was like, shit, you counting my money? And so then the whole drop happened. So then the cops bust in, right? So then they're trying to do their escape thing, and this is where Jay in too deep. They get to the end. The one dude is like, yo, you a cop. So he had to drop on Jay. God shoot him. And so then they're hiding, and Pam Grier comes up looking fine as hell.
Of
and
course.
She comes up, and she has a drop on God. So God put his gun down.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Reed just pop up and put the gun on Pam Grier. She's like, "The fuck you doing?" You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, what you doing? He was so engulfed in being Jay Reed that he pulled his gun on his colleague. You know what I'm saying? So she's trying to talk him down, like, yo, what are you doing? And God is like, dude, listen, I got the greatest lawyer in New Jersey. Like, dude, we'll be out in the morning. Like, put your gun down. And so he finally put the gun down. And so then they come out and they're like, yo, they was like, Jeff, read him his rights. And then he looks at him and he's like, what the fuck? He's like, you ain't no cop. He was like, you ain't no cop, Jay Reed. You ain't no cop, Jay Reed. And that shit was hilarious. So he's like, you ain't no cop, Jay Reed. And then he gets in the car. You ain't no cop. You a sellout. And so, so basically, you know what I'm saying? He testified, you know what I'm saying, to put God away. And he put in a good word for Harper Hill.
Yeah.
So Harper Hill ended up getting like 3 to 5 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so and like I said, throughout the film, they're going back and forth for him teaching the class.
Yeah.
Now he's just working at the department on getting people, you know what I'm saying, to work undercover. So like that happens like throughout the movie. And like, so basically at the end, after the case of Dwayne Haskins, whatever, damn, he got the same name as the Ohio State quarterback.
No, it's Dwayne. It's Dwayne Gattins.
Gattins, my bad, Dwayne Gattins.
Yeah.
So he gets sentenced to like 2 life sentences or some shit like that, and he links back up with Myra, and he convinced her to go to Chicago, and all this little shit. So man, this is a great fucking film, man. If y'all have not seen In Too Deep, man, it's a great fucking film. I'm sorry, it's one of the underrated films, man.
For sure, bro. For sure. So Fire Flame time, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yoga Fire. Yoga Flame.
Cool. So man, I remember watching this, you know what I'm saying, when I was a little bit younger. 1999, I think I was in maybe 5th or 6th grade.
I was in the 8th grade.
You was in the 8th? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I probably was in like maybe like the 5th or 6th grade. Maybe 4th at the most. But I seen this movie probably like a couple years later when I was in high school. So for me, I'm gonna give this a 3. And the reason I give it a 3 is because of the pool stick scene. I was never a fan of that shit. That shit fucked everything up for me. So yeah, I give it a 3.
Man, listen, I am giving this a 4.5. My God, this movie was great. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we could have lived without that. And then the reason for him to do it, that shit was dumb as fuck. But we seen this shit happen in real life. Fucking Nicky Bonds ratted out his whole crew because he got fucking life and mad that one of his dudes fucked this girl. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Then you rat on the whole squad. But you got life, my guy. Fuck you worried about what she doing. But anyway, but yeah, man, like it was a stupid reason to do it. It was stupid to do it, but you know what I'm saying. I see why it happened. But man, other than that, man, it's a great film, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know, great cast. It was great writing. I love the way it went back and forth from him teaching to him actually being out there, to him trying to get his life together, actually trying to have a relationship. There was one scene I left out where he went and saw her while she was dancing. He was drunk and he got locked up.
Yeah.
It was just really a really good film, man. I don't really have any criticism. Like I mean, nobody liked that pool stick scene,
Right.
but you know, other than that, man, it was a really good film. So I'm gonna give it a 4.5, man.
All right, man. So you know what I'm saying? Next episode is gonna be something super nice. This one is gonna be this is gonna be super funny, but it's interesting to talk about this movie with situations that's going on right now. So you know what I'm saying? This is probably one of the funniest movies by air, sea, or land. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All throughout Chicago, you know what I'm saying, just taking it over by air, sea, or land.
I'm the talent.
come on the kick drum, come on the kick drum, come. Hey, bro, listen.
Oh my god, it's just so fucking funny.
Hey, this shit is gonna be comedy,
fucking
bro.
Heat wave, man. Motherfucking heat wave. Hey,
That shit is funny, bro.
My all-time part said, "Oh, so that's how you want to play it? I'm gonna bring some guys from my neck of the woods."
He said some real goons. He said you got these fairies. You got these fairies just swinging whenever. He said, "Hold on, you don't take a man's kazoo. You don't take a man's kazoo out of his hand in the middle of A minor."
Hey, no, he said, I did not get my ass whooped. He said he fooled me with trickery and then shot me in the throat. Oh man, this is gonna be hilarious.
Man, that shit was funny as fuck, bro. When them motherfuckers was playing Pictionary, bro, that shit had me crying, bro.
Oh man.
He said it's not a sock. It's not a sock. Like you keep saying fucking sock. It's not a sock. I said no, it's not a sock. Hey, bro. That shit was funny, bro.
Oh man. That shit is hilarious. Yeah, this is gonna be great, man. This is gonna be great.
I can't wait for that. This one is much needed. Yeah, this one is definitely much needed.
Oh man. Yeah, for sure.
So
definitely.
Yeah, man. So you guys make sure y'all tune in for that next episode. You guys are gonna love it. By the way, follow me on Twitter at Scoots Bronson. Follow me on Instagram, Scoots Bronson _TV. Go check out my other podcast, 15 Minutes of Fame. Hustle Boy episode still up. Is getting some good reviews, getting some good numbers. What's up?
Hey, the single came out yesterday.
No
Love came out yesterday.
With what's the feature on there?
John DYD.
Yeah.
John DYD.
Yeah, it's a nice song, bro. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it, bro.
Yeah.
But that's just like I told you, when I listened to his music, it threw me off because I was like, you know how I am. Like anytime, you know what I'm saying, you hear certain people, you never know. But yeah, he got a nice future. I give him that, man. And he's a smart dude. So you know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all go check out that episode of 15 Minutes of Fame. And follow us on Instagram at View9Pod. You could also follow us on Facebook, VA Pod Watch Group. You know what I'm saying? That's where you get everything. We also got a link tree. Everything will be in there. So, you know what I'm saying? Mess with us, man.
Yes, sir, man. And like I got an interview with Hustle Boy as well. It's on 28 Minutes or Less. It was episode 46, so go check that out. I just dropped the new 28 Minutes or Less. Episode 47. It's about a 30 for 30 the Year of the Scab. So go check that out. You can find me on 28 minutes or less pie on Instagram, S.Foster8 on Instagram and Twitter, 28 minutes or less on Facebook, and be on the lookout, man. That last episode of Stolen Time Podcast will be coming out on July the 2nd, so be on the lookout for that as well.
For sure, bro. For sure. So, yeah, man, that's it, bro. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for showing us some love. See you next episode. Like they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap.
Cut.